What's up guys, welcome back for another Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro Duel video. Djinn-Lock NEKROZ, number 3 in the series challenger appears. The other ones will be like in the video description, so feel free to check those out in, like a side series from the Cross-Banlist Cup 2020 from this year. Previously we had Emancipator, the first one, second was XX Saber, featuring like the pre-errated version of X-Saber Dark Soul, right? The third one being here is like Djinn-Lock NEKROZ, also a highly anticipated or asked deck to feature in a Cross-Banlist Cup series. It's actually the first time that it's like popping up in the series. I was a little bit like holding it off because of the power level I felt of Djinn NEKROZ and, you know, Djinn Releaser of Rituals, the fact that it kind of blocks your opponent from special summoning, very similar to like Vanity's Emptiness or Vanity's Fiends, but the fact that this was quite searchable, or very, well, searchable, due to the fact that this deck had access to La Valval Chain, you had easy access to, like, you know, setting Djinn Releaser of Rituals from your deck to the graveyard, and then make like a ritual and use it as a ritual material, like going for your Clauseless, for example, or in like a combination of 6 and 3, whatever, since you can just banish it from your graveyard if you want to go for the ritual summon. You know, like good old school. This, by the way, this is a deck list from 2015, pretty much like full power NEKROZ, if I'm not mistaken. I believe this is the first place YCS list from Brett Keys, I believe the name is. Again, but yeah, as I mentioned before, full power NEKROZ and basically tier 0. It was back then like, I mean, the fact that it was, if you went into like a YCS, it was like 95% sure that you would take on like another NEKROZ deck. So what did players do to combat your opponent's Djinn-Lock? And as you see here in this particular list is that this list opted to main deck like Book of Moon, obviously at the one back then, and Book of Eclipse, you know, just to put your opponent's monster, ritual monster that was used for a ritual summon like Djinn, that was under, or if you were under the Djinn-Lock, you could just, you know, put that monster that was used, or Djinn was used for, to get on the field face down. So again, shut down the fact that you weren't able to special summon any monsters, right? So here again, you get up a Clauseless, and because again, this is like a Pendulum extra deck, Unicorn could help out as well. The problem is that, well, this is basically full force Pendulum Magicians, and you know, you have seen duels from Pendulum Magicians last year, but you know, this list, this version is much more powerful, has access to Electromite, has to that Sorcerer, Joker at 3, and like double Iris Magician. It's just a ridiculous deck, and as we've seen multiple times how like MVP Purple Poison Magician is, and in this particular matchup as well, it's a problem. In this case, again, I used up the, what is it called? It's not like a tester, but you know which one I mean, the level 7 one. Discard to protect your Clauseless, so this turn it cannot be destroyed by battle or by card effects. Again, it was needed, so now Clauseless again survives, but I did lose my Valkyries because of the Purple Poison. So Purple Poison, like, oh, well, just got rid of 2 monsters, I guess, in the long run, and the fact that the Pendulum Magician deck was able to search out the Pendulum Graph Trap makes things much more, like, ridiculous, right? So anyway, Astrograph was pretty much the last card we didn't see, and again, it wasn't able to drop itself to the field due to the fact that, you know, Djinn-Lock was into effect, and like, Excitonite is basically a last resort. I could have gone for Valkyries here, but I was like, well, it's not really going to do that much. Like, if Pendulums is able to get back resources, or rather, you know, like, long story short, get able to like set up the Pendulum Scale and Electromite, then I'm a goner. Then Valkyrie is not going to save me, because, you know, the deck is able to go for Vortex, because, you know, like, double Electromite, and it can go for like the fusion here, the Venom one, to go for Vortex. And again, Vortex bounces Excitonite, so I'm not using, or I'm not able to use it during the opponent's battle phase, and yeah, Valkyries will just get negated by Vortex, so doesn't matter. But the Brionek could have given me some extra searching capabilities, I guess. And I mean, that's, you know, if you played NEKROZ, well, like now or back in 2015, but I'm mainly talking back in 2015 because Preparation of Rites also was at 3, well, now as well, but yeah, if you think about it. But basically, like, Google.tech, that's how it was called back then, or at least I was calling it back then, because it was so consistent. Triple Manju, triple Senju, triple Brionek, triple preparation of rides, the deck was so consistent. And the fact that back then it was able to go for like Lava Chain into Djinn release rough rituals, and like in the mirror match people like those were like one of the fewer times in Yu-Gi-Oh history, and I'm starting from like 2003, that actually had like a players agreement of both players like in a tournament asking each other like you know, let's side deck out both our Djinns and go from there, right? So like one player could not Djinn-Lock you without maybe like one or two or maybe even 3 outs from your main deck. And that's also one of the reasons why people, again as I mentioned before, main decked like Book of Moon, Book of Eclipse in Nekroz, which especially for Eclipse were maybe side deck cards, but again you just didn't want to lose against an opponent's Djinn-Lock. And DD Warrior Lady, also one of those cards that was main decked actually, because again it was searchable off of Rota, and the Bull Blader as well, also a card to out an opponent's Djinn-Lock. This was cool. The Raigeki was quite lucky on my side. I already had the battle phase here, but I had other options if it wasn't for Raigeki. But like Excite-A-Knight, right? But I had to go for Trishula first, right? To get rid of, I believe it's Cerberus, that gives the like Nightmare Calling some extra protection. And this is cute. Soul Charge is an out to Unicorn. Again, as you know, Unicorn only negates monsters special summoned from the extra deck, and the Link monsters here were like special summoned from the graveyard. So Firewall is able to bounce back double Unicorn. But I believe, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, is that Blends could have ended, because as you see, there are only 3 cards in the extra deck, 2 of them are fusions, should be fusion. I believe the last card should be a Boral Sword, the Link 4, right? And I believe that I should have been able to end with another Ibli on my side of the field and Boral Sword, right? So my only way to get rid of Ibli is to suicide, but again, yeah, Boral Sword on the field, and, you know, put it in defense position. But I think I had an out for this to, as you saw, like both Unicorns were bounced back to my hand. I think I had like a Trishula in the hand to, well, negate the effect, right? At least keep 1 Unicorn on the field. And this way, you know, Boral Sword would have been blocked, since again, no battle phase. So I still would have won that one, but that's something that, you know, might have been a bit different. Going second against Spellbooks, that's a problem, especially if the deck is able to go for like the Jogan lock, and yeah, both Jogan and like Kaiku are just terrible for this deck. Jogan prevents special summons, and Kaiku prevents cards from being banished from the grave. At least I can't banish cards from the graveyard, so I can't use like the rituals, like banish them from the graveyard to get another search if Kaiku is on the field. So I think this was my best play, I guess. Maybe getting lucky with like Trishula and Mystical Space Typhoon again. As you know, you have to chain it on like the activation of the field spell, at least on the effect during, I believe, draw phase or standby phase. So it will miss timing. So it will, you know, it will not special summon another spellcaster from the deck. But yeah, High Priestess is definitely an out to this field. Not really sure how many High Priestess are in the deck. I believe only 1. But yeah, that's how it is. And I did not opt to use Fel. It doesn't really matter. The game is over. Especially because of the second, you know, like Spellbook of Judgment, another Kaigu. So I can't banish my spells. And yeah, Star Hall for next turn. So yeah, that's Spellbooks, right? I mean, if it's able to get off like a huge Spellbook of Judgment, a couple of draws, searches, I mean, and ending with Yaugen and go from there, that's difficult. Going first again, not getting blown away by hand traps, that's the thing here, and that's the thing, you know, you feel if you're playing Nekroz in today's format, is that cards like Call by the Grave and Gamma to some extent, but also Ash Blossom were cards that weren't released back then, back in 2015. But, you know, like Nekroz in today's format is almost at full power, and it's not doing anything because of that. I mean, the big hand traps are so good against a lot of decks, but mainly also against Nekroz, and a deck like Nekroz just suffers really hard from that. Like a well-timed Call by or Blossom could really stop this deck in its tracks. Anyway, so again, getting the Clauseless on the field under Djinn-Lock, so again the opponent is not able to special summon. And now I'm just playing the waiting game. Dark Ruler no more is not going to help out. Getting out 2 big boss monsters, well, big boss monsters, just big attack beat sticks, so I can go for game quickly. Again, not giving the opponent too much time to grind back or get back in a duel. I'm not really sure if Dinos is, you know, able to get rid of the Clauseless. Again, not being able to special summon, right? Maybe Lightning Storm, if that's in the main deck. But other than that, I'm not sure. Maybe evenly matched? Yeah, evenly matched. But still, you know, you're just leaving the Clauseless on the field. Anyway, last one, basically against full power Cosmo, going second this time, and this is definitely a strong opening board for Cosmo, having like the Tin Can Search, you know, banish itself, to get, Dark Lady as well, again, basically blocking a monster effect, and, you know, the fact that Manju/Senju is negated, there is like no immediate rank 4 Exceed place, so the Djinn-Lock is out of the question now. And I'm well aware of the potential Call or Cosmo Joe, so I don't think there were any other place. But yeah, Dark Destroyer hits the field, quite unfortunate. And yeah, the Trishula is using its effect, but the thing is that this particular list is only running 1 Trishula in the main deck. Well, it wasn't really too uncommon. Well, I believe every like good old school Nekroz list was just running 1 Trishula, right? There weren't. Why should you be, especially in like the Nekroz mirror match? I don't feel there was like, well, no, that's not true. I mean, you could like, let's say, leave your Trishula on the field, let your, well, if your opponent had Trishula you, and then you had like another copy of Trishula. So, yeah, okay, that's true. But yeah, whatever. This list is only running 1 Trishula. If this list was running a second copy, I probably would have won this one, but yeah, it doesn't. But the Maxi definitely hurts. Since again, I'm able to get out Djinn-Lock, and Djinn-Lock against Cosmo is big. I don't think there are too many outs. One of them is already gone, being the Cosmo Joe. But you see, I mean, Maxi giving Cosmo, I believe, 3 draws in total, and with the draw phase, that's like 4 draws, and that's huge. I mean, like 4 new cards is too big. So both Gungnir, that was the name I was looking for again, Gungnir, big beat stick, is has that Djinn effect attached. You know, the Djinn-Lock, I guess. So now the opponent can't special summon, so no Call of the Haunted, no emergency teleport, as you know, as we see here. I'm not really sure which field spell is set. I believe it's the Fire King Island, right? So now I need 1 extra turn to go for a game. I don't think there was any other option to put out another big beat stick. But yeah, I mean, the field spell, that hurts. I believe the end of main phase was called here. So that's why I use my Gungnir to, you know, pop the tin can, right? But I mean, this is Murphy's Law, I guess, like Call of the Haunted for Dark Destroyer, and like one of the worst cards to hit the field. And that's Farm Girl. Farm Girl searching any other, I guess, big ship and going for a game. So bit unfortunate I wasn't able to deal the last damage. Maybe I made a mistake, but yeah, okay, that's how it is. So cool list. It was very fun to play this deck again. If you have like suggestions for this series, feel free to leave them down below. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment or like if you enjoyed the video. Lithium signing out. Peace.